Hello, good evening, welcome back to Pride Month on my channel. This week I'm just going to be talking about my queer favourites. So let's start with queer movies. I like movies. I just want to put out a disclaimer that I have not watched a whole bunch of queer movies. I'm definitely missing some classics, and I will give appropriate trigger warnings when I can. Let's start with But I'm a Cheerleader, which is a great film. Trigger warnings for conversion therapy and the like, and there is obviously some homophobic themes throughout, but overall it's quite a good film, very entertaining. I think it's quite light-hearted, but also I watch a lot of dark movies, so I think my view of light-hearted is, well, you've seen my book choices. And it's about this girl who does really well in school, and she's a cheerleader, and she happens to be gay, and she gets sent off to a boot camp to fix, heavy air quotes, her sexual orientation, and while she's there she meets other gays, but then also it's a coming of age story of sexual exploration, let's say. An excellent film and definitely one of the staples. There's an in-joke between me and some of my friends that if I've seen it, it must be a must-watch, because I have not seen many films. Next up is Eat With Me. Eat With Me is a great film. I originally watched it on Netflix, and once it was removed from Netflix it was incredibly hard to find. I've been trying to find the DVD, which is not available at all in my country through Amazon, and I haven't found it on eBay either, so difficult to find. It's about a gay Chinese man who is sort of estranged from his family, and he's living in gay bliss. He's got his own place and he's sort of out but not out, and then his mother comes to stay and he's definitely not out to his mother, and it's sort of a story of her learning that he's gay, coming to terms with it, and it's called Eat With Me because it's based around his restaurant and the family restaurant, and they're trying to save it from going bust, but also there's the whole gay undertones. It's a really, really good film and everybody should watch it. It should be more available because it's top notch. Next up, another former Netflix film which is also quite hard to find, Cloudburst. Cloudburst is about two older lesbians who honestly just get up to mischief. It's about their life together and more. Honestly, it's been such a long time since I watched this film. I don't really remember the important plot points, but I do remember absolutely loving it, and I still have some of my favourite quotes in my head from it. It's just, I love it so much, and it's so light-hearted and fun, and I think it's really important that we see the representation of older queers. This film is also really good too if you are asexual, because it doesn't just focus on gayness being sex, which is excellent. If you want to know more about asexuality, tune into my channel next week where it's Asexuality Week, and I'm going to be doing the asexual tag and some info about the asexual spectrum. Moving on. The next film that I am going to recommend is Room in Rome. I love this movie. I also first watched it on Netflix, but I now have the DVD, and it is about two women who meet in Rome and they have a glorious night together. There is lots of sex scenes in it, but it's kind of emotional. It's like, it's just like a really in-depth night together, which does make sense without the sex, but it's great. They tell stories to each other and they get to know each other, and it's sort of a whole, it's very intimate. Intimate is probably the word that I'm trying to look for, and it's great. And the soundtrack is also so good that I bought the CD with the soundtrack on it. Highly recommend. The next film I'm going to recommend is a Polish language film. It's Polish with English subs and trigger warnings for suicide, homophobia, internalized homophobia, bullying, drugs. It's a really dark movie. If you suffer with mental health in any way and are triggered by mental health based movies, give this one a miss. But dark movies are my favourite. And it's about Dominic, this boy who is in school and he realises that he is gay. His family is not exactly keen on the idea, neither are his school peers, and it's sort of his coming of age story-ish, and then he enters a online chat room called Suicide Room, and that's where he feels like he can talk about it, and he meets this girl and they chat about it, and it gives him the confidence to kind of go out and be, and it goes from there. It's not the happiest film, to be honest. It's really upsetting, but enjoyable. It's really emotional but enjoyable. On a much happier note, Pride. Lesbians and gays support the minors. Just fantastic, excellent film. It's got a lot of history to it. It's got a lot of camaraderie. It's got a lot of positive messages, but there is also you know, homophobia, which you would expect from this sort of a movie, and it's just really good. It really is a classic and every single person should watch it, whether you're gay or not. The next film is excellent but not without critique. It is called Trans America, and it follows a trans woman on her journey of transition, and then she receives a phone call from someone pretending to be her son, and it follows that line. Does she go and see him? Does she return to her old life? Does she follow through? Is she accepted? Etc. I can't give too much of a bio on this because I have not seen it in so long, but while I was putting together this list I was reminded of this film, and you know, you have that light bulb moment of, oh, that film, I loved that film, but you can't really say exactly what it was about. It was that moment. I do recommend it. However, the lead actress was not played by a trans woman, but she was at least played by a cis woman, and we know Hollywood has a problem with this, so not ideal but could be worse. It's critiquable, very critiquable, and there is obviously underlying transphobia throughout because nobody ever just accepts trans people for who they are without bigotry. Next up, everybody's favourite, Kinky Boots. I love Kinky Boots. Kinky Boots is the ultimate feel-good film. There is, again, homophobia themes throughout, but most of these movies hinge on some level of homophobia. Yay, Hollywood. It is about Lola, a drag queen who helps somebody to revamp their business. And it's sort of a acceptance story, kind of. It's very good, and there is a musical, so if you like musicals, definitely give that a go. It's so good, and it's also one of those I haven't seen in so long I can't really talk about, but I love it. I do love it. It's so good. Just chef's kiss. Next up, this isn't really a film, but I'm not going to make a separate video about series because I don't want to. The L Word. I fully recommend The L Word. It's also not without its problems. There's ableism, there's homophobia, there's transphobia, there's all sorts of themes. There are 6 seasons. I have the whole box set of them and I watch them all the time. They're very, very good. They tackle issues that were not ahead of their time, but they were kind of progressive at the time. Right now, none of it's like new news, but they did have some excellent themes. They had a deaf character that was actually played by a deaf woman. It was excellent. They have trans characters, they have interracial relationships, they have bisexuality, which there's also biphobia in there as well. But it's just excellent and I really enjoy it. I really do. And there are so many videos on the internet where people talk about the L Word as being their like light bulb moment of like, oh gosh, maybe I'm queer too. It's just very good. I treat the whole box set like one long movie. It's very good. They're my favourite and you can't stop me. Last on my list, you might have to fight me on this. It's not a queer movie, but it has queer vibes, and that's Juno. For me, this movie has always felt queer, even though it's not. It's about Juno, who gets pregnant by somebody at school, and just the story of that relationship and giving birth and just sort of being a pregnant high schooler and all the politics that go with that, and just the journey. It's truly excellent, but it has always felt gay to me, and I think that movie was also one of the reasons that I realised that I was queer, because I had the hots for Elliot Page and I knew no way were they straight, and he's just chef's kiss. Just an excellent movie, and if you've seen it, I'd really love to know your thoughts on its queer vibes, because it just does have queer vibes. Those are all the films that I have on my list. Please let me know if I have forgotten any down in the comment section below, and while you're there, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and ring that notification bell so you get notified every single time I post a new video. Videos go up every Saturday at 6 PM UK time, with at least one bonus video every single month, apart from this month, which is Pride Month, and you're getting 2 videos each week, one on Wednesday and one on Saturday. See ya!